So today I'm going to be giving you guys my full review on Amouage Boundless for men. So this one did come out earlier this year in 2021, and I've been recently testing it just in time for fall and winter. I'm going to give you my full review, tell you how it smells, how it performs when you can wear it, and ultimately if I think it's worth picking up. And judging by this note breakdown, if you know me and what I like, that's going to be obvious. And of course, this was made possible by Twisted Lily. They are no stranger to the channel. They've sent out a lot of great stuff for me to check out and then share with you guys. If you guys want to grab Amouage Boundless, any other fragrance from Amouage, or really any other niche fragrance in general, check out Twisted Lily. They will be linked down below. And be sure to use my code CHAOS10 for 10% off site-wide. It's always active, works on everything. You might as well just do it. Just ingrain that into your mind. Say it 3 times while looking at yourself in the mirror. CHAOS10, CHAOS10. Chaos 10. And it's going to be stuck there. Like, you can't escape it. You can't get it out. Every time you go there, you make a little purchase, maybe hiding in the corner at work or hiding it from your wife or whatever, and you're kind of rushing through the checkout, right? You just got to make sure you get that in there. Chaos 10 saves you 10% off. You're talking up to $34 savings here. If you're buying a Roja, almost $50 savings. I mean, come on. You don't want to sleep on that. Let's start off with how this fragrance smells. Now, when you first spray this one on, immediately, you get a whole bunch of tobacco vanilla goodness here. It's a bourbon vanilla, to be specific, according to the note breakdown, and I 100% get that. And the first time I smelled this up top, it almost had this like honey type of smell, because it is so syrupy and bourbony and boozy and just, I don't know, it's to the extreme here with just how rich this one opens up. And a lot of that's due to the vanilla. The tobacco comes through very quickly after that. And this is one of those fragrances where if you don't like tobacco, then you are not going to like this, because it is a main player here. For me, I love tobacco. I love it in fragrances. Love the smell of it. And so, of course, I'm going to really like this. If you're a tobacco lover, you got to get on this. I'm going to go ahead and read off the full note breakdown here because I do find it to be very interesting. Up top, we have cardamom, blood orange, ginger, and elemi. In the mid, we have bourbon vanilla and benzoin. And in the base, we have tobacco, myrrh, incense, cacao, guaiac wood, papyrus, vetiver, patchouli, and oak moss. That note breakdown is just heavenly. So many of my favorite notes all combined into one scent. So like I mentioned, you get that tobacco and vanilla off the top. You can't miss it. You get a little bit of a cardamom spice as it opens up, and I really like that as well. Cardamom, ginger, both adding to a little bit of a spicy approach in the opening. As it starts to settle, some of the spicier top notes tend to wear off, and then you get into some notes like incense, guaiac wood, myrrh, and even the cacao, which also gives off like a dusty, chocolatey smell. So the longer it sits on your skin, the more rich and dense and heavy the scent is going to get. And it doesn't take long for you to pick up on that incense either. Amouage really does a great job with using incense. We've seen it in Interlude. We've seen it in Interlude Black Iris. I mean, they know what they're working with here. So you get the incense and you get the papyrus. But the way that comes across, it gives off a very, like a dry, spicy type of smell. It almost smells like a very dry, aged cedar wood. And you know what that kind of reminds me of? It reminds me a little bit of like Gucci Porum, the original, where it utilizes a whole bunch of dry woods and spices. Again, this is quite different than that one. I'm just talking about this one accord here in particular. That Gucci doesn't have the tobacco, vanilla, heavy sweetness like this one does. But when we're talking about the spices and the woods, the way the papyrus and incense are mixing together, that's kind of what it reminds me of. But that's just one little facet out of the entirety of the scent. And that's what's so fascinating about fragrances like this. When you get over to the niche side, there's all these little different sections. You know, you can split this one up into so many different categories here. I can smell the tobacco and vanilla and the benzoin mixing together. I can smell the papyrus and the incense and the guaiac wood mixing together in another subset giving off like a dry woodiness. You can smell the cardamom, the ginger, the elemi up top kind of adding to the spiciness and this creaminess. There's just so many different genres that this can be split up into almost. And yet it's all mixing together perfectly. It's all blended so well, so smooth, so natural. Even though we have a pretty decent sized note breakdown here and a lot of heavy hitters going on, It still smells great. It's still blended perfectly. This one here is going to be an absolute rock star for fall and winter time. It's going to work great for either of those seasons. You know, you got this woodiness and this spiciness for the fall, but you also have this rich, almost boozy, tobacco vanillic type of smell, which would be good for the winter. This one could be dressed up and worn to formal situations, or you could dress it down as well. For a niche fragrance, you're going to get a whole lot of versatility out of this one, and that's always nice. When you're paying the money, you want to be able to wear it, and that's what you can do with this one. Let's go ahead and touch on performance here. Longevity on my skin is sitting around the 9-hour mark, 9.5. Projection is on the more reserved side of things. So for me, I would classify this as almost a little bit more of a personal scent. It's not anything like Interlude Black Iris, like we were talking about a minute ago, where, you know, Interlude is known for being just ultra strong. It's not on that level, not at all. And a lot of people will sit here and say that they want that. They want that Interlude, absolute wreck everyone's nose type of beast mode stuff. And I can see the use for that, but I think a lot of people get caught up in that. They get caught up with the mindset that, oh, if I'm paying the money, I want the maximum amount of performance that is out there. And I understand that. But at the same time, that cuts down on the wearability of it. You can't wear that to the office anymore. You can't wear that to school anymore. You can't wear that in situations where you're going to be close to people and you may be off-putting. You can do whatever you want, and I'm sure I'm going to get 10 comments of people saying that they wear the original Interlude vintage batch to the office and their cubicles, and everyone looks at them weird and they don't care, and oh, I do what I want anyway. But come on, you don't want to be that person. If you want to, cool for you, but for me, I'm past that. I'm past the phase of wanting everything to be just absolutely beast mode. Something a bit more refined is what I'm after. And talking about that whole mass appeal thing, it's going to be a good compliment getter for people who like something warm and rich and spicy. For the younger crowd out there who likes the Sauvages and stuff, you know, maybe they're not going to be as inclined to enjoy this, but you know, just for people who want something that's sweeter. And if you're carrying yourself with confidence and you're dressed well in the fall and winter time, you're also going to be more likely to get compliments from this one, because that's just kind of what it's all about. Wintertime is about layering up, and if you want to try to look stylish, it's a lot easier to do so because you can layer up and add some dimension to your outfit and that sort of thing. So pairing that with something like this is really going to help you out. If you're wearing this in a t-shirt and shorts in the summertime, it may not do as well. And alternatively, if you're wearing something like Nautica Voyage when you're all layered up and heading out the door and looking snazzy in the wintertime, that just kind of is boring. For a more complex outfit for the cooler time of the year, you want a scent that will accompany that, a scent that is a bit more complex, and that's what you get. So at the end of the day here, if you're a tobacco, vanilla, spicy fragrance lover, you're going to love this, no questions asked. Get a sample, blind buy a bottle, do what you got to do. You got to get your nose on it. And I highly recommend checking out Twisted Lily. Again, they will be linked down below. If you want to grab this one at a discount, use my code CHAOS10 for 10% off. That's going to be your best bet here. And big thank you to them for supporting the channel as always and sending this out for review. Let me know your thoughts on Amouage Boundless down below in the video description. Also, what's your favorite Amouage fragrance? Now I'm going to sneak this in at the end of the video here while we're at it. I've got 100 mils here that there's no way I'm going to be able to use up. I'm going to give 10 mils away to one of you lucky subscribers. If you want to enter the win this giveaway, leave a comment down below saying that you want to be entered. In a week or two, I'll pick a winner and I'll send you a 10 mil decant so you can try this one out and get some wearings out of it. 10 mils is going to last you a while, especially if you're not wearing it every day. It's still pretty strong stuff. You don't need a ton of sprays. It's at least over a month's worth of juice that you can enjoy and try for yourself. And if you want to become a channel member and get access to even more giveaways, if you want to see some bonus vlogs, bonus top 10s, chat with me one-on-one in a private group chat, that sort of thing, they will be linked down below, or hit the join button next to the subscribe button. All my channel members, you guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting. Everyone watching this right now, you guys are awesome. Thank you for watching. And Twisted Lily, you guys know you're awesome as well. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.